What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond coming at you on this Friday, the August the 5th. Appreciate you watching and taking the time to catch up for the week. It's an interesting week here with tons and tons of rain here in Arizona. If you didn't get a call from us, feel grateful. There were a lot of people that did, as we got a ton of rain, more than most other weeks. And we actually had it both last weekend on Sunday as well as last night. So today the team is dealing with rain issues, which here in Arizona for the most part aren't so bad. But every once in a while there will be one that has not been built out to withstand the downpour that we got. But hey, getting into some numbers, I wanted to download on, hey, now that we're at the end and we're through July, let's see what July looked like. And then have an interesting story that I want to share with you as well as we get closer to the end of this. But let me get into some numbers. Hey, so we had this July, a total closings of homes here in the Valley was 7,175, which compared to last July of 2021, we had 10,720 last year, which brings the sales volume down 33% from last year, which is big. Of those numbers, of that 7175, we've got new builds, which there were 1,256 new homes that sold, which is down 5% year over year. And then there were 5,919 resales in July, which is down 37%. Median sales price, was 464,000 in July, which is down by $20,000, 484,000 in June. So we've got some price compression happening. What this isn't telling us is what's happening with the new builds right now and how they're really starting to scramble and giving incentives. They're not going to reduce their pricing, but they're going to be offering incentives for people that we haven't seen in years and years and years. Now's the time to negotiate with new builds if you're in the market for one. Do we see the market going down considerably? I read a good article this week that talked about potentially seeing 10% decrease in price before the end of the year. I think we're already on track to see half that. But I think overall, the market is the market. There's still just such a tremendous demand that once we get through the next couple of months, I think we're going to be back on track to starting to see people and buyers really out there acquiring again, realizing that it's the new normal and interest rates aren't going to change. Hopefully interest rates for purchases stay at that 5 to 6%. Creative financing helps people get down further. That's something that our lender partners have taught us and is working. It's working well. Instead of doing price reductions when selling properties, oftentimes you offer just a credit to buy down that rate, and that helps people in making that payment significantly more affordable than even doing a huge price drop. And that's definitely something favorable that great lenders are doing right now. Hey, so interesting story this week. Sounds like Opendoor was they basically had to pay $62 million to home sellers that they had basically tricked, right? Opendoor is one of the institutional buyers that we sold a lot of houses to here this year and the end of last year. We have had multiple institutional buyers that we've referred business to, and we always kind of have them compete and see if they are, if they're in line. Before the end of last year, we saw close to August of last year. One company, this one being Opendoor, started running with it, right? And they started offering pricing that was, in some situations, that was just ridiculous on listings that we had. What we would do on the listing side, if you have a house for sale, I'm going to, before we even go on the market, before it touches anything, I'm going to send that out to these institutional buyers just to get an idea, see what they're willing to pay for it. Before August of last year, maybe 1 in 10 would end up selling to an institutional buyer just because the seller didn't want to carry the cost of maybe pumping a bunch of money into the property to get it clean enough to retail, maybe flooring, maybe paint, whatever it might be. So we have now Opendoor, who was going direct to the consumer, and I guess the way that it looks is, without a realtor in place, a homeowner doesn't necessarily know what their property is worth, and in this situation, it sounds like people felt that Opendoor was taking advantage of them. Prior to August of last year, I can see that their values weren't the strongest, and just like any wholesaler, anybody that's calling you on the phone right now asking you to sell your house, or it's probably a little slower than it's been, but they're calling you asking to buy your house from you. They're not going to give you a top dollar for it, right? It's the same thing with Opendoor. So it's like, it is what it is. It's interesting that they got to pay the $62 million. I don't know all the details of how much they were, tricking people into selling it for grossly under market values. However, I'm happy to say that all of the people that we sold to Opendoor definitely got their money's worth. And I felt like after August of last year, we were making money for our clients through these offers from Opendoor, and those offers were just stupid. They were so high. They were ridiculously high. How do I know they were high? Because at least 3 of the properties that we sold more than 3+ months ago are still on the market for sale. After Opendoor purchased them from our sellers, there are 3 of our properties that are still on the market, now priced less than what they paid for them, but they grossly overpaid for these homes and are just now they're sitting. Interesting stat. Check this out. I found this. Opendoor listing counts by status. This is something right now. Check out what happened here. As of, what is this here? April of this year, we started seeing the purchasing, like I mentioned, August of last year seemed like when we saw that uptick. So we might have been just a little bit late to the party. It might have happened closer to May, where it shows, okay, how many do they have that were active? This is when we started seeing all that buying. It looks like this uptick right here. So under contract, boom, they're buying all these properties. Look at this right here, but their inventory, okay? Little dip, inventory goes up, little dip again, boom. Look at their inventory right now. Like, that's insane. They're carrying so much real estate right now and getting hit with this $62 million lawsuit. I mean, it's just insane. I mean, this is, last year we were talking about the Zillow buy program and how that went away. Who's to say that Opendoor, is able to withstand this and the pressure of carrying all of that property? What that looks like for them, I don't know. But what that tells me is the buyers that they were selling this stuff to, the hedge funds that were picking this stuff up and buying it maybe off market, now they're having to put it on the market and try to offload this stuff as fast as they can because they saw that dried up. So, hey, if we were having this conversation 2 months ago, it would have looked like I predicted the market, and this was, amazing. However, again, trailing data that shows us, hey, they're at 1,682, listings right now that they have. It's just as active. I mean, that's pretty heavy. I couldn't imagine what that would look like. But cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was informative and helpful. If you ever have questions about the market, what it's doing, how to position yourself, or you want to know what other people are doing to stay ahead of the market, let me know. I have got a presentation that I'm going to be giving to a local real estate brokerage in a couple of weeks. Did you know, here's an interesting stat, that of the realtors here and I don't know if it's all of Phoenix, all of Arizona, or all of the realtors in the United States, but there is a chance, so it's 10% of the agents own a second or more homes, right? So when working with a realtor, there's probably a 90% chance that person doesn't own an investment property. And realistically, these are the agents that we're now going to be educating and teaching on that process and how to make that work, so that by the time they get to us, by the time somebody brings a property to us, the client's more well informed, and the tenant, the realtor looks better because they have a better idea of what to offer. Meeting with a big team here in town, super excited about it. It's going to be the first of many, but I'll keep you posted and let you know how that goes. We are putting together some relationships with some other brokerages that can provide different types of services to our clients. So if you are looking for something specific, please let us know. Look forward to sharing more about those with you in the future. Thanks so much. Hope this rain stops soon. I mean, we're definitely feeling it. But again, it's definitely needed. It's so beautiful out there right now. Have a great weekend.